Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, August 27, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position, no outside distraction. Relaxed into your body, still as a statue, focused on your natural breath rising and falling. Sooner or later, we will make the transition outside the mind. The only way that happens is that through meditation, you begin to discover that there's two existences. Your God self, pure spirit, pure consciousness, and ego mind, the mind. Now, one of them is real. The other one is an illusion. And you probably guessed it, that the one that's the illusion is the mind. Doesn't it make sense that we would focus our attention on what's the only thing that is real, which is the God that we are, rather than illusion? And by focusing on the God that you are, you're able to master the illusion. You remember, the illusion is energy. Your energy. Your highly concentrated, pure conscious energy. And you can focus in the direction of mastering the ego mind. And you do that by stepping away and outside of it as many times as you can. Could be just in the course of one day, where you step outside and you watch, you observe, you're curious to see how it operates, what it does, how it directs you, guides you, influences you, manipulates you, directs you, influences you, all across the board. These are things that you find out. You don't find them out, it will continually master you throughout this lifetime and many others. Now, it isn't a bad thing. It's that it's been put there so that we can master it, so that we do learn. If we didn't have it, we would probably be slugs in the mud. So we utilize it, obviously. We learn about it. It teaches us many things. And then we begin to master it. And the only way you master it is through the heart-mind. There's no other way. Many other ways have been tried to no avail. How many of us, when the next time you're in front of a mirror, look non-judgmentally into the mirror? Notice, what do you see? And we're not talking about physical, okay? Look, do you see how amazing and multidimensional and extremely beautiful you truly are? Okay? That's real. Or do you see all of your flaws and shortcomings? Now, if the mind is set aside, we can only see here what it thinks is good and bad. Okay? Do we see the flaws? That's the mind. And if the mind is not set aside, we'll only see and hear what it thinks is good and bad. It can be extremely judgmental, and this is pure entertainment for the ego. We very much dislike being bored, so we cling to all sorts of opinions about right and wrong. And as long as we are over-identified with and attached to opinions of good, bad, we cannot spiritually awaken. Just remember that all of life is a grand play, and the nature of the mind is to create contrasts and comparisons. It doesn't like the gray middle path. And when the mind is too empty, it seeks something juicy to fill it. The crucial move or step in the process is let go of filling up the mind. Find the spiritual being that you are. This is in silence and stillness within. Interestingly, the heart is not judgmental at all. The heart only loves, accepts, and embraces what is. So do not trust, ever trust the mind. Don't ever trust your mind. Trust your heart instead. This way you will eventually be free of the mind and just remain in the heart. You will soon, in time, find the divine, the God that you are within there. Sits in there. And this is a miracle. The moment that you realize that there is no way to make a home, then this whole existence is home. Then wherever you are, you're at home. Course in Miracles. That's very true. You've heard me say that, state that before. Wherever you are, you're home. You'll be anywhere. Why? The home is within you. It's not outside of you. You see how we've been taught? Every day, we all get lost in a sea of duality. You see, the pendulum swings back and forth from being lost to being found, again and again and again. Remember that your mind is not the only mind out there that is making a living hell or heaven out of each moment. Everyone is doing this. We are all blind to the divine. We simply have to learn how to release all attachments and trust in the God and surrender to its totality. And when we take this risk to dissolve back into the source, in each moment we naturally discover how everything around us is helping and guiding us to be free. And the good news is that we've got 1 billion more lifetimes to become enlightened. God is never ever going to stop loving us. Bad news is that if postponed, you'll miss out on the 1,000 opportunities heading your way today. So there's no real end to this journey. You don't die when you die, so truly there is nothing to be concerned about. And when you realize you're an eternal being, what's there to be worried or fearful about? And the only reason you are is because you're so attached to the physical plane and controlled by the ego mind. You're on an infinite journey. You are always safe and on the right path. You've made it this far, and you are still a very conscious, deeply sensitive being. This is a very good sign. It's a comprehension across the board. Right? You look at all the cards. You're able to differentiate between the physical and the spiritual. You know the difference deeply. Right? You know that the physical is an illusion. The spiritual is real. That's the difference. Now, even though the physical seems real, it's got to seem real, or we wouldn't experience it. See what I mean? So it's got to be so finite, so meticulously arranged, designed, and implemented that everyone's fooled. to the illusion. If you look at a playground, look at a really massive playground, all kinds of wonderful things to play with, right? Endless, as far as the eye can see. But it is exactly what I stated. It's a playground. That's what this life is a playground. And it's all full of all kinds of things. And we choose, through ego-mindedness, on how to navigate it, which is the path to all suffering. That's a fact. Choosing that path is a path to all suffering, the material physical path. Now, it doesn't mean that, it has nothing to do with enjoying life or anything like that. It's comprehending that the ego mind, if you are heavily entrenched in ego-mindedness, you will suffer. Disappointment, anger, frustration, impatience, greed, manipulation, all of that and more comes our way in the material physical, ego mind. In the spiritual, the God mind, the pure consciousness, it is absolutely the opposite. We struggle, right? In material physical, we struggle. We do progress. We learn. We experience. But it is in a lot of situations throughout life, it is arduous for any of us, off and on. Doesn't mean you don't have fun. Doesn't mean you don't experience some wonderful things. But all in all, it is arduous. And when we want something, it is arduous. It's not easy peasy. It takes a bit, right? But in spirit, in the heart mind, it's the opposite. When we focus on things that we want, they come to us. Because we're not carrying frustration, we're not carrying worry, doubt, lack of trust, lack of confidence, lack of faith. We don't carry any of that. It's full boat. So we attract it flawlessly, effortlessly. It's how it should be. See? We've been in so many different lifetimes that we just have become, as gods, we've become adapted to this way, the material, physical world. And we don't ponder the fact that it doesn't have to be that way. We make a choice in a different direction. We become acclimated and discover it's our natural state of being to be in heart-mindedness, and it is an unnatural state of being to be controlled by ego mind. There is no debate. You can look at it from the standpoint of conflict, hatred, greed, manipulation, lust for power, all ego mind motivated. All of it. Heart-mindedness, none of that's there. Doesn't exist. Ego mind doesn't exist. As I've stated before, ego mind cannot go in the now because then it won't exist. So it does everything it can to coerce you, influence you, and manipulate for you to stay in yesterday and tomorrow. And for the most part, most of us do. But making a commitment to oneself and saying, I'm going to focus on the now as much as I can, and make it a habit every day to focus on the now. To make it a habit every day to focus on deep gratitude, deep eternal gratitude. To make it a habit to focus on being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself at all times, no matter what's going on, within or outside. These are all commitments that we make to ourselves. It's through heart-mindedness, period. And so why is it that the majority of us continually choose ego mind? Why is it? Easy. It's easy. It's not difficult. It's like second nature. We just do. We're so acclimated to it for thousands and millions of years that we just do. It's easy to do. We fall right into it. Now, something that you're not used to is much more challenging. We've all experienced that. So when you go into heart-mindedness, it doesn't seem to relax itself much, does it? Seems a little uneasiness because you're not used to it. Doesn't feel natural because you're not used to it. You're used to ego mind. That's a cinch. See, this is what deters many of us from consistently and in habit to practice being heart-mindedness in the now. We eventually gravitate back towards ego mind. But the commitment is that to practice. You just practice every day. Initiate it every day, every morning. You know, you call upon, I'm deeply grateful for the very moment I'm in. It doesn't have to be something that happens then you're grateful at all. It's just that you are grateful, period, no matter what. And what this does is it moves us all into heart-mindedness more and more. Those steps do, okay? Focusing on the moment. It isn't difficult. You say to yourself, I am in the now. And when you start wandering off, you go, I'm in the now. I'm deeply grateful for being this very moment. Very moment's the now. It's the only way that we're going to transition. It really is. You're not going to do it any other way. And believe you me, many ways have been tried. And they have not succeeded. So this is not a complicated process, but it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of fortitude. Right? It takes a lot of self-trust, self-faith, self-confidence in yourself and the universe. Because if you don't believe it, how are you going to be it? You go, mine will say, well, it's a waste of time. You don't need to do this. Waste of time. Just stay with me. We're fine. And I do believe that the context of it all, and our existence as a species, a civilization, and what's occurring on the planet is a massive leap upward into higher vibrational frequency, and by choice. Not randomly, not out of the clear blue, but by choice. And we embrace it. And then we get acclimated to it, and then it becomes truly our natural state of being. That's what you want. You want to be in your natural state of being. Okay? Is lying your natural state of being? Lying to someone? No, it isn't. That's why it feels so uncomfortable for most. Being deceitful, right? Manipulating, greed, are all those natural states of being? No, they're not. Isn't that amazing? Bliss, joy, happiness, right? Peace, tranquility, benevolence is our natural state of being. It's a huge difference, isn't it? When you look at it, you say, wow, All these things that we practice, even unconsciously, lifetime after lifetime, for the most part, isn't our natural state of being. You could say to yourself, this isn't my natural state of being. Why am I expending energy on it? To be, to get very angry. Well, we all get miffed and we all get irritated and we all get, at times we get impatient. But the extremes. It takes a lot of energy to put that out. Be revengeful, super angry, grudges, right? Some people carry grudges their whole lifetime. They never let it go. They never surrender it. Could be a mother and daughter, could be a father-son, could be son, mother, whatever. And carry it, you just carry it till you leave the body. Peace is a natural state of being, okay, for all of us on this planet. It is. But it's difficult while you're an ego mind to obtain it, to surface it. It's very difficult. Yeah, it's intermittent at times, but it's not consistent. Just like happiness. All the things that are outside of us, happiness, joy, things that implement a happiness, a joy, stuff, is fleeting. It doesn't last. And then the ego mind is immediately looking for something to fill that emptiness. You ever notice that? And it's us to comprehend. It's the ego mind's influence on us. That's what it is. And to discover that and to unfold it, and then to bring it in under the heart mind. This is spiritual enlightenment. It's advancing oneself into higher dimensional frequencies. There isn't any other, really, application except transition from this 3D world of gimme, gimme, get, want, have, and do anything for it, which is all an unnatural state of being, to with ease, with bliss, permanent bliss, joy, happiness. Not intermittent that the material physical world puts there, but permanent. To be in a state of bliss permanently. And it's right there in front of us. It isn't a secret, right? It's not being kept from us. It's right there. Unfortunately, the majority on the planet are completely ignorant to it. They believe and have been taught that it's out there. It's out there. It's outside of themselves. Know thyself really well. Know yourself. Know your fears. Know your happiness. Know your joy. Know you. That's why you hear me umpteen times over and over say, it is all about you. It isn't about anything else. Once you discover who and what you are, once you have surrendered all the things, and you repeatedly surrender, we're always surrendering, your frequency shifts, goes higher. It's automatic. Right? You're not fearful, frustrated, angry, miscombobulated, overwhelmed. None of that. Doesn't that make sense? Isn't that highly motivational that you leave all the things that you believe are your natural state of being, and then you embrace all the things that you didn't know were your natural state of being. You discover them. They're usually the opposite of what we practice. When you harm others, is that a natural state of being? No. When you harm others, you actually are harming yourself, since we're all part of the one. When you're manipulative, dishonest, backstabbing, you're doing it to yourself. Eventually it will show up in your life. There's no escaping it. It is an automatic response in the universal plan, the structure. It's like it's like a rubber ball, you know. You throw it, it bounces back and hits you. Wishing negative applications on another is no different than wishing it on yourself. Now, what would happen if people were to really embrace that and comprehend it? If I cast these aspersions out to that being, I am doing it to myself. And it doesn't feel good, because we've all been there. More than one. It doesn't feel good, does it? It's kind of wasted energy. And then when we comprehend that, why would we do that? We wouldn't, unless we're all glued up with the ego mind. That's the only reason we would do it. In heart-mindedness, we wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Ever. It's two different existences, okay? Is really what it is. Your God self and your body and material physical world are two different existences in the same sphere. And we're here to learn and comprehend the difference between the two. That space in between. The space between heartbeats. The space between breaths. We're here to comprehend it, embrace it, and implement it. And really figure it out, to know what it is, the difference between the two. And it's like the God is the orchestrator, director, choreographer, producer, everything. Okay? And the body is the vehicle. And when we enter these bodies, it's like a supercharged conduit of manifesting and creation. That's what we become. Manifesting and creation. Supercharged. I join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, focused on your breath rising and falling. Relaxed into the body. The truth is that you are a super powerful manifester who always attracts more of whatever you hold your conscious attention and emotional arousal upon. So what type of thoughts are you generally entertaining your brain with every day? If you're not living in bliss right now, it just means your mind is caught in a past loop, recirculating unhappy and unhealthy ideas. Refocus your imagination on ideas that make you feel instantly lighter. Saying life is an easy, inspiring joyride. Then create a clear, heartfelt intention about who will be in 90 days from now that makes your heart explode with joy. Feel this intention is expanding out through the infinitely conscious universe. The God Source is already feeling and visualizing that your desire is effortlessly showing up for you in the most magical ways. And yes, manifesting is that easy. And you do not even need to say abracadabra. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call. And Thursday, August 28, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.